Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Kayla Sierra, hosted by yours truly. I know this video is late. I am super sorry about that, but you know when life hands you lemons and they tell you to make lemonade, yeah, those lemons got squashed and I got extremely busy. I've been working practically nonstop. We had a lot of family coming in town. It was just a whole lot of in my world coming up to last week. And by the time I actually I had my phone set up, I had the light, the mirror, everything was ready to start recording, and I didn't get through the intro. Hey guys, that's all I could record, but nothing was going right. I didn't feel it, and I just had to say there's not gonna be a video this week. I was extremely tired, mentally, physically, in every sense of the word. I was actually ranting about it to my friend Maria and her sister because I was like, I really want to record, but I can't. Like, nothing's going right. I was not in the headspace to record whatsoever. And then the video would have been late regardless because of how my work schedule was. Yeah. So I took Thursday, because I normally like to record on Thursdays. I took that day to woosah, to relax, and my weekend was a lot less busier than it would have been. So now here we are. Thank you guys for being patient with me, and I hope today's video makes up for it. Since today's video is pretty hefty, I'm not going to get too much into my March reads. If you guys want to know more about that, go on my Instagram and see how I talked about those books. I'm also not going to give too much on my April TBR. Like always, I'm going to include it on the screen. That's also posted on my Instagram. I have already finished one of the books. I finished Eyes Turned Skyward by Rebecca Yarros, so there will be a book review about that coming up soon. I really don't want to waste any more time, so let's get into today's video. As you guys saw in the title, I will be playing Bookish Bingo, and I invite you guys to play along with me. I'm going to put the template right up here and be crossing them out as I go, so hopefully you guys play along and maybe you guys will get bingo as well as me. The first box I want to mark off is a book with a one-word title, and for that I have the Legendborn series, and as you can see, they're all one word. I actually went back and forth with myself about this one because while yes, it's 2 words in each title, do you see a space? There's no space, right? It's one word. Legendborn, Bloodmarked, and Oathbound. I really was like, Kayla, like, they're not gonna fall for that. You shouldn't do that. But I'm doing it because I was struggling trying to find a book with 1 word in it. But I found it. If you saw my April TBR, I have Oathbound on here. I was supposed to read it in March, but that didn't happen. So I'm super excited to dive into the 3rd book of the Legendborn series. Next up, we're going to do a book that was published in the year you were born. And honestly, I didn't think I was going to be able to get this one. I 100% was like, 2002, like there's no way I have a book that was written in 2002. I had to look it up. And lo and behold, Julia Quinn came in to save the day. Romance and Mr. Bridgerton was published in 2002, so that is 1 more box marked off for me. If you guys haven't noticed, I'm kind of going at these boxes randomly. I didn't think it would be very interesting if I went box by box by box because that's kind of boring and then I get bingo too fast and then that makes me the winner. But it's not a competition. Next up, I have a book with a blue cover, and for that, I have chosen The Selection. This was another hard one trying to find because I feel like some of my other books that I could have chosen, I was kind of being critical. I'm like, oh, that's kind of teal. Like, that's not blue. This is giving blue. So she is gonna go right there. Quick pause on the game, guys. I was just looking at the template. I have it here on my computer to make sure I'm following along correctly. And tell me why I just noticed that there are 3 different sections for a book with a 1-word title. I was literally like, oh my gosh, I have to find more. I got 3 right here. So Legendborn would be 1 box, Bloodmarked would be another box, and Oathbound would be that last box. That's fair. I think that's how you should play the game. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, I'm winning. Anyways, the next box is going to be a classic novel, and for that one, I have Pride and Prejudice, which kind of came in clutch because I'm pretty sure this is the only classic novel that I own, so I appreciate that. The next category is going to be a book with a number in the title, and for that one, I have Three Dark Crowns, and this one, I could have really done any book I wanted to within the series because they all have a number in the title, but I'm kind of a sucker for YA fantasies. I'm really starting to notice that in my reading patterns. If you're looking for a new series or you may have this one and it's just sitting on your shelves, go read it now. My next box is going to be a book that starts with the letter B, and for that one, it's going to be Bleed Like Me. I was trying to decide if I was going to do this one or Before I Let Go, but I've never talked about this book before, and honestly, I think when I read it the first time, I couldn't fully appreciate everything that these characters were going through, and so I'm definitely gonna have to add it to my TBR at some point this year, because now at my age and my emotional intelligence has definitely grown, and I feel like I'm more mature to understand what these characters were experiencing, so it's definitely going to be a reread for me. Next box up is going to be a book set in a different country, and for that one, it's going to be so super quick. Oh, you missed it. Oh my gosh, wow. For real, this book is set in Paris, France, and yep, that's all I'm going to say about this book. Next up is going to be a book with a love triangle, and for that one, I have Powerless. You guys know how I feel about love triangles. I don't think they're awful, but I also think they're unnecessary. It's just a whole lot of, and I think we as writers should stop doing them, but I am only one person. A lot of people enjoy them, so. The next box we're going to do is a book written by a author of color, and for that one, I have Almost There. I honestly was really disappointed by how this author portrayed Tiana and how Tiana was talking to some of the characters that we know and love in The Princess and the Frog. So this book was a disappointing one, unfortunately, but it's written by a woman of color, and we support women of color authors over here. Period. For the next box, we're going to do a book with a character who is a musician, and I actually have two separate books for this one. So we're going to do The Deal by Elle Kennedy and The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. The next box is going to be a book with a character who is a detective, and some of y'all might be like, oh, like I don't really think that counts, but I think it counts, so we're going to go ahead and mark it off. That one's going to be As Good as Dead, because Pip is a detective. She has a true crime podcast, and she's solving these cases, these murders, disappearances, and everything. She's a detective. Y'all can argue with yourselves, but don't argue with me. Next is a book written by a female author. I had a lot of different options for this book because majority of my books are written by females, but for this one, we're gonna do The Sun is Also a Star. I fell in love with this book, I believe, in high school. I can't remember if I read it for a class and that was one of the books we had to choose from, or if it was just the book that I chose to read. But this was definitely one of my favorites back then. When they said that there was going to be a movie out about it, I was even more excited. I was disappointed with said movie. That's not the point though. This is definitely one of my favorites, and I'll have to reread it soon because I just loved every second of it. And also, Nicola, she's just an amazing author who's also a Black woman, and love her down. Next, we're going to do two separate boxes because they're basically the same thing. The first box is going to be a book with a green cover, and the second one's going to be a book with a red cover. For the green cover, we have A Court of Mist and Fury, and for the red cover, that one's going to be The Housemaid's Secret. Both of these books are the second books of their series, and if I had to choose a favorite, I'd probably go with A Court of Mist and Fury. Don't get me wrong, I love The Housemaid's Secret a lot. But if we remember what happened in A Court of Mist and Fury, I'm gonna do a book set in a fictional world next, and for that one, I have Wings of Starlight. This book is also on my April TBR, and y'all, she was hard to find. When I was finally ready to be like, oh my gosh, yes, I'm gonna get this, it was like going through all of these different websites and things that sell books trying to find it because it was unavailable everywhere, and I finally was able to find it on Books A Million. And so she's mine, and she's so cutie pie. It's actually going to be my next read of the month, and I'm just so excited because Pixie Hollow was just something I grew up on. Tinkerbell and all of her friends was a huge part of my childhood. So being able to read this book and revisit it is going to be so incredibly special. For the next box, I'm going to do a book with a LGBTQ plus protagonist. And for that one, it's going to be The Night and Its Moon. I did not know that the characters were going to be a part of that community, at least the two main protagonists. I got this as a gift from a friend, and I was really excited to read it. I didn't know it was going to go down that path. I thought they were just friends. It made sense just with seeing them together and then apart that was where their story was going to take them. Next is a book with a magical creature, and honestly, this book that I have chosen could go with a lot of the other categories that I've already filled, but we're gonna do Fourth Wing. Obviously, this series has dragons in it, and you really can't get more magical creature than that. The next box is going to be a book that was adapted into a movie, and I have two books for that one. We have The Hunger Games and Catching Fire. I also have Mockingjay, but I don't know where it is. I could not find it for the life of me. But these two books, honestly, The Hunger Games is becoming one of my favorite movie series like of all time. When I say I am like watching these almost every day, I'm watching these movies all the time. I love these books so much, and that brings me to the last category that we are going to do for today, which is a book that is set in post-apocalyptic, and for that one is going to be Sunrise on the Reaping. I have yet to read this one as it is a part of my April TBR, but I am super excited to find out more about Haymitch's story and what he went through in his Hunger Games. Those are all my books, so I think the only thing left to say is bingo! Count up how many bingos you guys have. I have 6 in total. If you have more than that, the same amount, or maybe less, let me know in the comments. I would really love to know that you guys followed along and maybe found some different books to fill these categories than the ones that I chose. Just like that, we are at the end of today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, go follow me on Instagram at Kayla Sierra for updates about videos and to also get some extra content about books and everything that's going on in my life. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and make sure you're turning on those post notifications so you know exactly when I upload, and share this with all your friends. I've been Kayla Sierra, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!